Hello, my Teaserking. I am sorry, my internet. It was an internet message. So I left off at Oklahoma. I don't think there's a need to come back with them. I was just going through their schedule. Oklahoma has Michigan, Texas, South Carolina, at Tennessee, at Alabama, and LSU. They're in big trouble, Oklahoma. All right, let's move on to South Carolina. Pretty good team. Shane Beamer, 29-22. Mike Shula, who stinks as a coordinator. Clayton White. There's a lot to like about South Carolina with talented young stars, Sellers and Stewart on either side of the ball, but there's so much production to replace from 2024. Beamer and company. This must be Frank Beamer's son, the guy from Virginia Tech, I would imagine. Would do well to start fast because by October they face LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss in consecutive weeks. Well, we don't know that Ole Miss is any good. With November games against A&M and Clemson to follow, which again we don't know if they're any. Well, maybe Clemson, I think we think. So Lenora Sellers, he had 18 touchdowns, 7 picks, 2,500 yards, and he ran for 674 yards and 7 touchdowns last year. A big guy, and he's 6'3", 240 and fast, so he's hard to tackle, and he's got a good arm. So he's not a Lamar, he's more of an actual passer. He's more of, let's say, Russell Wilson, who can run, but he's a good thrower. They scored 30 a game last year and gave up 18, so they're a pretty good defensive team. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 coming back, and they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming back on offense. They open with Virginia Tech in Atlanta. They should beat them. They got Vanderbilt. It's going to be trouble with Daggio. At LSU, Oklahoma, we don't know. Alabama should be good. At Ole Miss, we don't know. At A&M, we don't know. And they close with Clemson. So, just Oklahoma showing up. Alabama, they missed Georgia. So Vanderbilt's tough. LSU's tough. Alabama's tough. Clemson. So they got at least 4 tough games. And then the A&M, Ole Miss, you don't know. Oklahoma could be tough. So you don't know. They lost 4 games last year. Close one to LSU, 36-33. Got killed by Ole Miss, 27-3, and lost to Alabama, 27-25. Did they beat anybody good? At Oklahoma, they killed A&M. They beat my Vanderbilt team 28-7. At Clemson, they lost, and they lost to Illinois in the bowl game, which doesn't matter. So I don't know what they'll do. We have to watch them. Florida, DJ Langway, he's terrible. 12 touchdowns and 9 picks. Somebody said he was good for 1,900 yards. He stepped in for Graham Mertz. He's not a runner. I'm not buying this guy at all. This guy looks like he sucks. Billy Napier from Lou Lafayette, I believe, is the coach. Overview. Florida's poised to take another step forward, provided Langway stays healthy, and the young talent on both sides of the ball continues to develop. Despite facing another brutal schedule, the Gators could reach out bullshit, which would say, I don't like that. Don't tell me they could, I don't want to know they could, in your opinion, win 9 or 10 games, because I don't like your opinion. Langway sucks, as I said. So very weak quarterback, but you know how I feel about that. They scored 28 a game, gave up 23. So again, no defense. Georgia will eat them up. They opened with Long Island. I didn't know Long Island had a football team. I thought they just had iced tea. South Florida, at LSU, at Miami, Texas, 3 tough ones, A&M, Georgia, and Ole Miss, we don't know. Tennessee, which should be pretty good. And Florida State, we still have to see if they're any good. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got at least 5 tough games. Maybe we'll see about Ole Miss and Florida State. So Florida ain't doing shit. This quarterback is not good. Again, 115 out of 192 for 1,900 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 9 picks. This is not a good quarterback. I don't know why they say he's a good quarterback. You look at the numbers and it sucks, and you're like, this guy's a good quarterback. Old Miss, Lane Kiffin, 44 and 18. Offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss Jr. That's a red flag. And peak the overview. The 2025 Rebels are once again talented. As Kiffin has built a sustainable contending program. Bullshit. We'll see that through high school recruiting and the transfer portal. Well, how else are you going to get your players without high school recruiting? College recruiting? But without many veterans, they'll rely on Simmons and other new faces. Simmons is the new quarterback to try to remain. It should help that 5 of their first 6 games, that doesn't help them at all. Okay, so they really don't talk much about it. The Simmons guy was 19 of 32, 0 interceptions and 2 touchdowns last year, 282 yards. So we have no fucking idea. He is a sophomore, 6'4", 215. Probably a runner because Jackson Dart's a runner. And the Giants will go to Russell Wilson, and I don't know if Dart will make the field. A lot of losses, 3 back on offense, 2 back on defense. They're in trouble. 38 points a game last year, 350 yards passing, not from this guy. Dart threw for 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 6 picks. And Dart ran 495 yards, 3 touchdowns. Scoring 38 points a game, and they gave up 14-4. This is not a team that was like that. They weren't a 14 defense does not lose all these games. They lost 3 games. Kentucky, LSU in overtime, and at Florida. A 14 defense does not lose to Florida and does not lose to Kentucky. That was unacceptable. Let's look at it. They open with Georgia State, Kentucky, Arkansas, Tulane. Tulane's pretty good usually. LSU, that's a loss. I don't know what they're doing. Washington State, Georgia, that's a loss. Don't know about Oklahoma. South Carolina, that's a loss. The Citadel, Division II, Florida, probably a win, and Old Mississippi State, who sucks. So they got Tulane, LSU, Georgia, South Carolina. They got 4 tough games. They could do okay. Revenge games would be against Florida. And forget LSU. Kentucky's a revenge game. So at Kentucky, September 6th is a revenge game for them. Keep that in mind if they're a dog. But again, we've got Austin Simons, who have no idea. 19 of 32, 2 picks, no interceptions. Probably paid the bowl game. So we don't know. Yeah, the Dart didn't miss any time. So this is a guy that no running, and Tim Harris, the receiver, is gone. So really no receivers. All right. Auburn, Jackson Arnold stinks, the quarterback from Oklahoma. Terrible. Hugh Freeze is back, 11 and 14 in 2 years. Not a very good. He was a good coach that first year with an average quarterback, and he goes, and that was it. And then they fell apart. Overview: after winning the offseason again, Freeze and the Tigers need to show some results. An emphasis on receiver and offensive lineman has the offense excited, although defense must show that significant players were replaced. They scored 27 a game, gave up 21, so not a very good defense. Jackson Arnold's a terrible quarterback from Oklahoma. They did nothing. So look for them to be in big trouble. Schedule: at Baylor, that's a loss. South Alabama, at Oklahoma, at A&M. Then they get Georgia, at Arkansas. Kentucky sucks. At Vandy, look out. And they finish with Alabama. So Alabama, Georgia, and Baylor's going to be a problem for them. And then we'll see about Oklahoma and Arkansas, if they're any good. And, of course, my Vanderbilt. Missouri. Now they're gonna have a big drop off from Cook. Cook was a very good quarterback. He's on an NFL team, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. Overview: Missouri has had back-to-back outstanding seasons, but making it 3 won't be easy. Uh, Not even legend Dan Devine or Gary, whatever, Cures. Doesn't talk about the quarterback. The schedule makes it possible. Okay, so a very bad analysis. Uh, Bo Pribula. Pribula transferred from Penn State and is favored to win the job over Horn, a two-sport athlete. Yeah, who cares? Who has been with the program since 20, but has thrown only 8 passes, so he must suck. Previous spent 3 years behind Drew Aller and was impressive in some cameo appearances. Bullshit. What, they're winning by 40 points? He goes out there and that's going to look impressive? So this guy's 6'2", 210, did nothing at Penn State. We have to see what he's got. I'm not holding my breath. They do have a lot of defensive backs. 2, 4, 6, 7 defensive players back out of a 20 defense. They scored 28 a game with Brady Cook. And I believe they had a really good running back last year. Luther Burden, also a very strong receiver, is there. And that's it. So they start with, again, nobody, Central Arkansas. Big game with Kansas. That's going to be trouble. Lou Lafayette. That's going to be trouble. South Carolina. UMass. Oh, that's a tough game. Alabama. At Vanderbilt. At Oklahoma and Arkansas. They got a pretty easy schedule, but they're not very good. All right. Tennessee. Two teams have had as much change and uncertainty on offense as Tennessee, but the defense has the potential to keep the Vols more than just competitive as Aguilar sorts things out. So Aguilar doesn't need time. So Aguilar from App State, very good. 6'3", 220 senior. He'll fit right in. He'll have a big year. Good receiver. And then defense, they got good defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys back from a 16 defense. Look for Tennessee to be very good this year. A 35 offense. The coach, Josh Heupel, always has a very good offense. They open against Syracuse and Atlanta. They're going to pound them. They got Georgia, at Alabama, Oklahoma, who knows, at Florida. They got a very easy schedule. Georgia, maybe Arkansas, at Alabama, maybe Oklahoma does something, at Florida. They should have a very big year, should be in the playoffs. And they have a very good quarterback. And if their defensive end, this Bailey is as good as Pierce, look out. They should be very good. Keep your eye on Tennessee, a live dog. They should kill Syracuse week 1. A&M. Who's their coach? Mike Elko was the Duke coach. Reed and the newcomers at receiver are expected to make the team more explosive. The defense returns most of its personnel, and the new guys make it quicker than it was. However, the schedule is somewhat daunting. Notre Dame, LSU, Texas. Moss has to pick up where they stay healthy. They scored 30 a game, gave up 22. Marcel Reed, sophomore, was their quarterback last year. I lost the stats. So they're giving me all these stats, and I get to these teams, and I don't get the stats. 2, 4, 6 guys back on offense, and 7 back on defense. They open with UTSA, which is going to be trouble. Utah State at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's in trouble. They don't have a quarterback. Florida at LSU, South Carolina, and at Texas. So they got 4 or 5 tough games. But see, this is my point about like the Tigers with the best record, but their schedule sucks. Here's Texas, maybe a good team. They got Notre Dame, they got Florida, LSU, South Carolina, and Texas. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential tough games. So they might have 3 losses, but then Michigan doesn't play anybody and they go undefeated. You want Michigan to be better because they went undefeated. You're looking at their record, not their schedule. It's such bullshit. All right, Arkansas. Arkansas would be an interesting study in massive roster turnover. The Razorbacks had 23 players enter the transfer portal between the winter and spring periods, and they brought in 31 through the portal. The roster will include more than 50 newcomers. This is a mess. The result, Arkansas will have an older roster with many of the additions being fifth-year seniors. The Hog schedule is very demanding, so qualifying. This is a nightmare. Taylon Green is back, the quarterback. 6'6", 224 senior. Jesus. He's not that good. They got 3 offense back and 3 defense. So as he said, there's a lot of newcomers. Their coach is Sam Pittman, 30-31 in 5 years. He's a decent coach, I think. They open with Alabama A&M. I don't get this. They got to go to Ole Miss. Who knows? They got Notre Dame for some reason. At Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State. At LSU, at Texas. That's a murder at the end. I don't know why you would schedule Notre Dame and you're in the SEC. So Ole Miss, I don't know. At Tennessee, at LSU, and at Texas will be 3 tough games for them. And then we got to see Memphis and Ole Miss. Yeah, that could be tough. See, here's where you get skewed. They beat Arkansas Pine Bluff 70-0, so it skewed all their stats. They scored 70 points. Well, if you look at the games, they put up 31 on Oak State, 37 on UAB, 17 on A&M, 19 on Tennessee, 10 on LSU, 58 on Ole Miss, who had no defense, 31 on Ole Miss, 10 on Texas, 21 on Missouri. Okay, so this is the problem with the 70-0 high school game. As you start taking averages, it skews everything. So you've got to be clever enough to take that out and say they're really not that much of an offensive team. So they're going to be in trouble. Mike Vanderbilt, Daggio Pava, best player in college football. Oh, bullshit. It's not the program. It's Daggio Pava. So this overview was absolutely useless. They don't talk about Pavia. Clark Lee is the coach. He's 16-33. It's all because of Pavia. It's amazing how you get a good quarterback and all of a sudden the coach has got better. 1, 2, 3, 4 back on offense, including the running back. And Pavia is 6 feet, 207. He's probably like 5'10", right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 back on defense. Defense that gave up 23. 27-point offense. I look for that to go up. They open with Charleston Southern. Again, another college I've never heard of. South Carolina, week 3. Alabama, LSU back-to-back. Texas. Auburn, and at Tennessee. And they lost to Tennessee 36-23 last year. But their big game was beating Alabama 40-35. Beat Virginia Tech Open 34-27. Beat Kentucky. Beat Ball State. Lost to Texas by 3. Beat Auburn. And then got killed by South Carolina. Played LSU 24-17. And beat Georgia Tech in a bowl. That doesn't count. I don't think Kings played. And lost to Tennessee by 13. And I think we covered. I think they were getting 15-16 in a teaser. So we'll see. Virginia Tech, we should start off at South Carolina. Will probably be an over. And Georgia State, Utah State, we got to learn. All right, Kentucky, 2 more, and then we can all go to bed. See, to me, this isn't work. Now, if I had to actually work at a job at 11:30, yeah, it wouldn't happen. Kentucky, Mark Stoops is there, 77-73. Quarterback Zach Calzano. A lot of transfers. The Incarnate Ward quarterback. So they're getting Zach Calzado from Incarnate Ward. Oh, my God. In his 7th season, Calzado will be counted on for 7th season. What is with the 7 seasons? He's 6'4", 230, and they're calling him a senior. He's like a graduate. He's got a master's. All right. They scored 20 a game, gave up 22, so very defensive-minded. The end of Kentucky's 8th season bowl streak increased the pressure on Stoops. He made a bet that he could quickly flip the roster through the transfer portal, at least 26 incoming, a year after most of Kentucky's transfers additions failed to pan out. There you go. It doesn't mean it's somebody else's garbage you're taking in the transfer portal. So they actually had a losing season last year. So they opened Toledo, going to be trouble. Ole Miss, South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Florida, and Vanderbilt. And then they close at Louisville. So very tough schedule. With the eighth season, this guy, 8th season, he must really suck, or he would have been drafted already from Incarnate Ward. Oh my God. And old Mississippi State, the worst team. Jeff Labey, 3-10 in his first year. I don't know where they got this idiot from. They have 3 solid options at quarterback with Blake Shapen. Now, Blake Shapen's good, I think. I think he's Baylor or TCU or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back on offense plus Shapen, and 4 back on defense. They lost everything. The only team they beat was UMass last year. They suck, 25 a game, and here's where the key is. The defense gave up 34. That's always what you're looking for. And how they played at Ole Miss and lost 26-14 is ridiculous. Ole Miss only got 30 against the 34 defense, only got 26. I don't get it. Tennessee 33. So what happened? 41 to Toledo, 45 to Florida, 41 to Georgia, 58 to Arkansas. That hurt them. And a 39 by Missouri. So, yeah, they got pounded pretty good. So they open at Southern Miss, Arizona State, that's a loss. Tennessee, that's a loss. A&M, Florida, Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, Ole Miss. So, yeah, they got a lot of problems. And that is the SEC. I apologize, but I lost the internet. So I understand you have to look at both videos, and I really hate that because I wanted it all on one video, obviously. So I don't know. Maybe I'll redo it. I'll have to see. But that's your SEC preview or review. So we touched on who the quarterbacks are. The best quarterback in the league is Pavia Newsmeyer from LSU. Georgia's we got to see. Florida, Miami gets back from Georgia. Question is Georgia's defense, Bama's defense, Alabama's quarterback looks pretty good, and with the coach, who is Alabama's quarterback? Ty Simpson, 6'2", 210 junior, was on the team last year. A former five-star recruiter served as Jalen. So this is a five-star, which means absolutely nothing. Who got beat out by Milrose, who was 16 touchdowns and 11 picks last year. But he ran for, it's crazy. He ran for 700 yards and 20 touchdowns. He was a very quick. He's a running back, basically. He's not a quarterback. I don't know why they keep putting these guys at quarterback that shouldn't be, that are running backs or receivers. Lamar should be a slot receiver. Lamar's not a quarterback. It's obvious. If he's a slot receiver, I don't know if they'd lose a game because I don't know how you can cover the guy. Now he's fast. He's probably he's not faster than Tyreek Hill. So I guess you would figure out a two deep zone on the guy. But basically, that's where he should be playing, not quarterback. And that's ridiculous. So anyway, that's what we have. I'll start filling in the quarterbacks as I showed you my paper. And we will go with that. And that's our first brush at looking at, and we're just going to do conference by conference. I did the Big Ten, but I think I'll do them separate like I did this. This is strictly the SEC. A tiny bit of baseball in the beginning and a quick look at gold. And we'll end it with a quick look at gold. Gold should be up now that we're heading, the later it gets, the better China starts playing. 33.54. Yeah, and that's current. Silver 36.18. So as long as silver's hanging in the 36s, we'll get help. And again, it's price fixed. It's controlled by derivatives. It's not controlled by the free market. This is not physical. So why they are pricing the physical gold at 33.54 when this is not physical, this is paper, this is options, is beyond me. But what we know and what I'm very good at is taking advantage of the bullshit. And the bullshit says this is not physical gold. As you can see by the derivative shorting it, why would gold be going down when every central bank and shadow bank, all the mafias are buying the gold because they know the dollar is going out. So if they're all buying the gold, who's selling the gold? Nobody's selling the gold. Some guy at my guy's store sells 2 ounces of gold to pay his bills. Nobody's selling tons and tons of gold. China's got 60,000 and Russia probably's got 30 by now. They're not selling any of it. So why is the price going down if it's not being sold down? In other words, if people are paying $100 a bottle and nobody, and it's not going on sale, why would this be $80? If people are paying you $100 for it, why would you take $80? So it's the same thing with gold. If people are paying $3,400 for it, why would the price go down? Who's selling it? There's no sales going on. So when the price goes down, we say thank you, and we buy more and more. And silver, we buy more and more because nobody's selling it, but the price is going down, which means it's fixed, which means it's bullshit. And it's a paper price. We are dealing in physical world. We go buy the coins and the bars. That's what we want. So keep that in mind. That's the point. That's what you're looking to do. So with that said, we just keep buying it because we know July 1st is right around the corner, and it'll be next Tuesday. Today's now going to be the 24th in about 20 minutes, and you just go from there, and that's the key to it. Just buy. Um, you're buying it at a huge discount. There's demand because every central bank is buying it. And if every central bank's buying it, why would the price go down? There's demand. The dollar's going down because nobody wants it. Nobody wants the dollar. So of course the price goes down. They're selling it. Nobody's selling gold. They're all buying it because they know this is going down and they know this is going down. So everybody's fucked because the money they are using is worthless, leaving gold as the only alternative. Why would the gold price go down? There's huge demand for it. And that's what doesn't make sense. And keep in mind, gold is demanded worldwide. This is US, right? This is just the Euro countries. We see how much of a disaster that is to have one currency. Yeah, that really worked. So keep in mind, you've got countries like Greece and Germany and England going bankrupt. Italy's not far behind. China and Japan are not far behind. The US is right up there. They're right on the leaderboard. Canada, the UK, they're all going broke. This is a worldwide, but it's really what it is the money. This is worthless. Therefore, they go broke because it's worthless. But this isn't worthless. When we look at this and we look at the teams, it's not worthless. When we look at this isn't worthless. People want this. As long as there's demand, there's a market. And when you lose demand, then this is worthless. If nobody wants to buy it, if nobody will buy this, it has no value. And we're looking at value. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants the T-bill. Nobody wants this. They're all running to China, running to gold. And that's makes this worthless. And that's really what you got to understand. So we always try to throw in a little golden economics in it. So that's where we're at. July 1st is Basel III, and we should see gold and silver jump very soon. Before or after. Why gold's stuck at 33.50, 33.75, and not at 3,700 yet is just more bullshit. JP Morgan, I don't know why they're keeping the price low. Maybe they're buying it. Do they have any money to buy? Does anybody want the US dollar to exchange it for gold? I told you about the Nazis. Nobody would take the Nazi gold because it was all stolen from the other central bank. The Nazi game plan was, we'll invade Czechoslovakia and we only have about 5 days worth of money to pay for the war. So we have to do a blitzkrieg. And where do they blitzkrieg to? The central banks. So China went into Czechoslovakia, Poland, Brussels, France, and they drove right to the central bank and pulled the gold and silver. That was their war plan. And then they took the gold and sold it to Switzerland, and Switzerland gave them Swiss francs, and that's what they used to buy the materials needed to make planes, trains, and automobiles. So again, even though they had gold, it was Nazi gold that nobody would touch. Probably the only time nobody wanted gold, except for Switzerland, so they didn't get blown up. Switzerland took the gold, and that was it. And they remained neutral, and they are still alive now. And that's what happened. So, but generally everybody always takes gold unless it's Nazi gold stolen by it. So if you have a Nazi signal on your gold, you might want to, take it to Switzerland. They'll buy anything. Anyway, I think that's it. So that's the SEC. We did the Big Ten, but I might do it again. I don't know if people caught it in the title. This I made very clear. SEC, that the Big Ten's kind of in the middle of the title. So I think I'll do it again. And I'll go through all the conferences. These less ones, like the ACC, I might do with the AAC. And the Sun Belt, I might do with the MAC. And the Mountain West, I might do with Conference USA or something like that. So we can definitely this was 16 teams. The Big Ten's 18. 18 teams in a conference. What kind of joke is that? Anyway, it's time for bed. So have a good night. Again, I know I'm doing this live, and I know they're able to, you can watch it anytime. So that's it. So that's the SEC. for you in a nutshell. As we hear more, we'll update it when we do college football talk. That starts the end of August, and we're in June. We're almost going into July. So July, we're 2 months away. So we're getting there. All right. Have a wonderful night. www.teaserking.com. I think the prices on Teaserking are set. Again, the college bowls, I have to switch to the college, year. I always at the end I just say, okay, college bowls, like $100. So I got to switch it to whatever, and that's all I got to do. Update the history, and the prices are the prices. So I think the whole thing was $750 for the whole year, and I think it was $500 college for the year, $500 whatever the pro is what the college is. So anyway, that's coming, and the teasers. I mean, they're much better than money lines. And they're much better than the player props. You don't know what a player is going to do, but you know what a team's going to do. I can tell you Alabama's going to score. I can't tell you what player's going to score. So keep that in mind. So anyway, have a good night. I will be on tomorrow with our normal economics in baseball, and we'll try to get there. And that's it. So have a good day, everybody. Again, www.teaserking.com. All right. Take care. Oh, and Daria's daughter is better and is ready to go home. So that's a good sign. She'll go home in a few days. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.